What is happening, everybody? Welcome to my Thursday Q&A. Every Thursday I make these videos where I answer your questions, so drop them in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer everybody's questions next week. We got a lot of really good ones this week, not like we don't every week, but we definitely do this week, so make sure you stick around. So our first question comes from How To For You, and it is, what would you like to upgrade to next after the van when the time comes? I'm thinking a Ford Transit, the big tall one that you can stand up in. That would be really nice to be able to build a shower in there, and another part that I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, probably a Ford Transit, because you can take those international and get parts absolutely anywhere. If the same is true for the Dodge ProMaster, which I don't know yet, then it would probably be the Dodge ProMaster. I like the way they're built a little more. They're wider, and they're more. It seems like they're more straight inside. It would be easier to build. Next question comes from McRocket, and it is, hi, you said you shaved your head. How did you shave it personally? And if so, can you explain your technique and what tools you used? Well, first I used a little battery-operated shaver that my buddy let me use, but I missed a bunch of spots. It was like it had a narrow little shaver part on it. I missed a bunch of spots, and I just had like random like long hair sticking up, and it was bothering me. So I found my mom has these big clippers that are just like standard like hair clippers that you plug into a wall, and so I just went over everything like 3 times with that and called it good. Dan Travel says, do you think the stress is because you're trying to do too much? A website is a lot of work. Is it paying off well enough to justify it? It absolutely is, because I was trying to do too much. Yeah, you're right. That building and maintaining a website is incredibly large endeavor. It's more, or it's as much as a YouTube channel, which is a huge commitment. It takes a lot of time to do this. You wouldn't think it, but it does. Yeah, so I'm reapproaching. I've kind of decided to reapproach everything in my life, and the way I'm approaching the website thing now is I'm just going to work on it a little bit at a time and build my way up, rather than trying to force it into this like, this is what I do now, and I spend like half of the time I don't have like doing this website thing and trying to force it into existence. I'm trying to flow more with it and kind of take my time and allow it to unfold as it needs to. There's a lot of stuff to learn. There's a lot of stuff to figure out, and I don't have to have all the answers right now, and I don't have to have it like going right now. And honestly, it's not really paying anything. It's a host for my selling stickers and my Amazon affiliate thing. And I can post pictures on there, which is really cool. And now selling t-shirts. So it's paid for itself. It's definitely worth it to have it. But as far as making like detailed articles and posts like 2 or 3 times a week, it's not really like worth it right now. But in the future, I mean, if I had this thing going where I had a ton of traffic all the time and it was really hopping, then I could make a lot of money with it, with advertising and stuff. But yeah, right now I'm just gonna kind of like focus on the YouTube channel. I think it makes more sense to just like focus on one thing and really like learn to master one thing. And once I get totally in the flow with the YouTube thing and I get it like all like totally figured out, then I'll start working on the website more. But I'm still gonna work with it, just not as much as I was trying to force myself to, if that makes sense. Great question, thank you. Reese Smith says, when are some other vids coming out? Well, you're watching this one now, aren't you? No, I'm gonna start making, I'm gonna be making more. I got another build video that I was gonna upload today, but I just realized that it's Thursday. So I'm making this one now, and I'll do that one tomorrow. And I got a lot more build videos coming and some vlogs and stuff too. Bobby Britton says, hey man, where did you buy your battery at, and what is the wattage size inverter that you use? I hope to be on the road after the first week in July. Safe travels. Right on. That's cool as hell. Yeah, safe travels to you too. I got my battery at Sears. It is a Die Hard Gold series, and I don't recommend it because it's got the traditional like poles to attach stuff to, and it's just a pain in the ass. They make these other batteries which look like that, and they have you can bolt things to it, and that's a lot easier to use in this the situation, because like the adapters you have to get for the pole type, they only accept so many cables, and it's just kind of a pain. So I recommend the pole type. Link in the description for one you may want to research. It seems like a good deal, but I don't know how much of a true deep cycle it is. Next question is from Richard Brown. and this is a cool like synchronicity one for me. It is, do you watch Dreamside Out's channel? His latest vid talks about his modular approach to his build. This idea is to make it super easy to change vans if he has to. Are you making your build more modular this time in case you change vans later? I had not thought of that at all. That is absolutely genius. And the funny synchronicity part is that I had just discovered his channel and watched his first video when this comment popped up, and it popped up on my little notification thing. I was like, whoa, this is weird timing. So I have seen his channel, but I haven't seen that video. I'm going to check that out. Robert Spear says, roughly how big a budget would you recommend starting off with to buy a van, possibly a Sprinter, and start traveling around Europe? I do not have a good answer for that question, unfortunately. I don't know what Sprinters cost, especially in Europe, to get a good one. And I don't know how much it costs for anything in Europe, really. Yeah, I know nothing about it. I'm sorry. Your next question is, how easy, hard is it to find work while traveling? This is another one that's really hard for me to answer because it really depends on you and what you do and what you know how to do. It just really depends, man. If you want to know, I mean, the economy and everything's going to be different, even in different countries in Europe. It's not like Europe's one country. So maybe you could try whatever you do, try to go get odd jobs with that, or if it's like a trading time for money thing, or start building passive income like now, and have both and move towards all passive or whatever you want to do. Yeah, that's a really hard one for me to answer. That's the best I can do. Sorry, I can't give you a clear answer on either of those. Neon Death 7 says, have you considered doing things like taking online surveys, possibly being a secret shopper? Yes, I have, but I don't want to spend like a bunch of time trying to figure out stuff that's like limiting like that, because you can only do so many surveys, which means you're limited how much money you can make. You can only do so many secret shopper things, and you're limited by that. Like there's a cap on how much money you can make with that. I'd rather research and spend my time learning to create systems that can create an indefinite amount of money, and learning things that give me the skills to be able to create businesses on the fly and create systems that just bring in money on their own, or like you create them and then it's hands off. They do their own thing and bring you money. Next question is from Johnny Peacock. What does your girlfriend and your future in-laws think about your van dwelling? The girlfriend loves it. She's been well, she was thinking about like tiny homes, but she also loves traveling and stuff. So this is like a perfect like blend of the two. It's like a micro tiny home and traveling. So it's perfect for her. I don't know about her in-laws though. I haven't really asked. Frost Freedom says, if cost wasn't a factor, what van would you buy, and what would you build inside of it? Would you consider space for a motorcycle, and what motorcycle would you buy? Again, money isn't a factor. Okay, like I said, either the Ford Transit or the Dodge ProMaster, and I've thought about this. I've visualized this. I got this. I would build a little, next to one of the wheel wells, I would build a little garage vented to the outside so that gas fumes aren't an issue, with a slide out thing like on the bottom. You pull the slide out, you ride the bike onto it, and then you just push it in, and that's it. And it would be so badass to have a little garage inside the van for the motorcycle. As far as the bike, I'm kind of done with crotch rockets, man. I had the R6 and the CBR 600, and I just got too wild with them, man. It's too easy to get caught up in the adrenaline and feel invincible, and I was eventually going to kill myself on that thing. So I'm not doing crotch rockets anymore. I do have like a serious thing for Ducatis though, but I think a dual sport would be really cool, because off-road, you're going a lot slower and you can go balls out. You don't have to feel limited all the time by stupid speed limits and stuff. And trees are stationary, like cars are constantly moving and they've got their own minds and they're unpredictable. You never know what they're gonna do. Trees are stationary, so you can go around them and stuff. But also on the street, a dual sport, you know, I'm talking about like a WR250 or something. You can push that thing, you know. There's the old saying where it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow, and I definitely found that true with the R6 and the CBR. So I'm going dual sport all the way. It'd be a WR250 probably. Next question is from Grant Goodwin, and hi, I'm sure you answered this in the past Q&As, but how do you get your mail when out on the road? And I highly recommend you check out Louisville, Kentucky. My mail comes to my parents' house, and then I get a P.O. box every couple months, and they mail me all my mail that way. And I get packages that way too. Next question is from Noah Hayworth. Taxes, how? Haha. Is it something challenging or not? Last year, okay, so I just did the taxes online, and I just filed in the different states that I worked in, and it was actually really easy. This year it's going to be totally different because I've got the YouTube income, I've got the PayPal stuff, which I don't know if it'll even qualify. I don't know if I'll sell enough shirts and stickers to do that. Hopefully not, because that'll be more crazy things. And then I've got other jobs, like jobs, and then if I start doing the real estate photography stuff more often, I'm going to have to report that. The Amazon stuff, and the PayPal, the YouTube, the website, all of this stuff, except for working at a job or a W-4, they don't take taxes out for that. So I'm going to owe taxes, and it seems really complicated right now. I'm going to have to figure that out when I get there. I've heard from other YouTubers that taxes are kind of a pain in the ass. So we'll see. Next question is from Inido50. I think that's how you say that. Hope you're back on the road soon. Could I ask if you have a plan to have a safe lock box in the van? Absolutely. I found my little safe. It's fireproof and waterproof and lockable and everything. I'm going to use that for sensitive papers and stuff. Next question is from Ryan Gonzalez. Have you been to the Kennedy Space Center, the space rocket launch in Huntsville? I think it would be cool to see on your channel. It would be cool. I went to Kennedy Space Center when I was in Cocoa, Cape Canaveral area, but they wanted like $60 to get in and then $20 to park for the day. So I was like, I can spend this money on food for like 2 weeks. Like, no way. No way I'm spending that kind of money. But they have a program for press, so next time I go there, my channel will be big enough where I could probably get in for free, just by having the channel and promoting their place, of course. It's like a I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine kind of thing. Michael Pearson says, awesome. Have you ever thought of sleeping in a hammock instead of a classic bed? Yeah, when I went on the first trip, on the motorcycle trip, I used a hammock, and I never got a good night's sleep in it. I'm a side sleeper and a belly sleeper, and sleeping like this doesn't work, and neither does sleeping like this. So I'm done with hammocks. They're cool to like take a nap in or like chill out in front of a lake or something, but as far as sleeping in all the time, no way. Penswin says, have you decided ahead of time, since that's the best time to decide, since it's already too late to decide once it's happening, whether or not you're going to record an unconstitutional roadblock or traffic stop wherein you feel you had not broken the laws of traffic should it occur? My deal with the police, man, is I just be as polite as possible and get the hell out. I don't have any, it may be unconstitutional, it may be unlawful, but it's not like me with a camera is going to stop anything. That's just the way I see it. I have no problem with other people doing it. Some of them are really dicks to cops, and a lot of cops are just guys doing their job. I mean, of course, there's some pricks out there, but there's pricks everywhere. The cops just have a little more authority and a little more ability to abuse it. But, yeah, I probably won't. I don't see any reason to. I'd rather just be polite and get the hell out. That's gotten me out of many tickets and, yeah, kept me from getting my bike towed and everything else. So that's the way I do it. Uh-oh, I just moved everything. Next question is from Walking Michigan. What do you think of Nomadic Fanatic? I don't like the way that I feel after watching his videos, so I don't watch them. K. Jewel says, question for your next video. When do you think you will head out on the road again? What will be your first stop? Hopefully in 3 or 4 weeks, and San Francisco will be my first major stop, but I think I might go on a trip to the Oregon coast before then, and maybe some other camping trips. RV Dog Ventures, have you considered a sawdust bucket toilet? Yeah, that's actually what I decided on for the toilet I'm going to have in the van. Ronald Martinez says, I am not sure if you already have one, but could you make a vid of how much your regular spending monthly expenses were when you were living in a van for a year? Okay, so there were a couple months where it was like $200, and I had to like use credit cards to pay credit cards and credit cards to pay phone bill and stuff, and that sucked. If I didn't have My basic bills are like, without credit cards, are like, this is off the top of my head. I'm not looking at it. I think like 300 plus gas, probably 200 for gas, and food, maybe 200 for food. So I think like 600-700 is like kind of the minimum that I would like to have. 1,000 to 1,500 is ideal because that gives me enough gas money and food money to travel all I want within reason and eat out at least every other day and get into like museums and like attractions and stuff. So 1,000 to 1,500 is ideal. I could do it on like 600. That's hard. That's really hard. Yeah, this is kind of, I haven't really like thought about this. It's all like a month by month thing, and it's so different every month. I just had like a wicked smoothie, so I've got this like crazy sugar rush going on right now. Yeah, so anywhere between, it has been anywhere between like 300 and 700, but 1,000 to 1,500 is like absolutely ideal. QCon says, couple mechanical questions for you. What are the tools you bring with you in the van? What are the essentials? I will make a video about this because there's a lot more than I can explain in a Q&A. Watch for that within the next week. If you need a part ordered, where do you get it shipped to on the road? Luckily, I have a Chevy Astro van, so almost every auto parts store has almost every part that I need, and I don't have to order anything. What kind of mechanical issues will you have a shop do that you don't know how to do? Anything inside the engine or transmission. I have a habit of taking engines apart and never getting them back together, or putting them back together and they don't work. So anything outside of the engine, I'll do valves, like valve adjustments, but not pulling the heads off and putting them back on right. I don't. I would pay someone to do that, or just buy a new engine. Hope that answers that. John Kahlo says, one thing that I've noticed is that negative comments are virtually non-existent here, although I don't think it is because you dictatorially edit them into non-existence. Do you ever delete comments? Do you have the opinion of practice that some people employ of routinely deleting unfavorable comments? I delete really vulgar, ugly, disgusting ones. Yeah, I don't delete ones that are just people who disagree with me or anything, or people who are just being jerks. Those are really rare, by the way. And so are the really disgusting ones. I think maybe I've deleted 10 to 20 comments total the entire time I've been on YouTube, like at the most, probably even less than that. But yeah, if there's a really disgusting one that I think is just like, you're just spewing hatred, like, or just filth all over my channel where I'm trying to do something positive, you know, yeah, I'll delete those. But for the most part, I've got amazing viewers, man. Like, I watch other channels, I read the comments, I look at the like to view ratio and everything else. I got something really good going on here with my viewers. It's really, really cool. I get almost all like awesome positive feedback. It's really cool. A lot of really cool suggestions too. I've learned so much from you guys. It's incredible. Silly Dogma says, and this is our last one, as a long-term goal for yourself, what is your view on the possibility of getting married and having kids one day? Some people hate the other ideas while others love it. I hope you get to slow down and relax while you're home. Love yourself first. Love yourself. Hell yeah, dude. Thing with kids, I don't want kids now at all. I'm not ready for it. I don't think I'm in a financial spot. My life is too chaotic right now to be a responsible dad. I'm at this point in my life where I'm experiencing like the most incredible, profound freedom I've ever had, and I feel like kids would limit that a lot. So right now, no way. Someday, maybe. Marriage, I'm still forming my opinion about that. I don't really have one. It seems like the legal benefits are awesome, especially when you're bringing in someone from another country. But I'm still kind of figuring out what that means, what marriage means. So I don't really have a good one for that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Love yourself!